let's just move on to the Giants now at this point, because it's like I think we're all going to say the same thing about the Eagles, but with the Giants, great season, great to be there moment for the Giants. Brian Dable, Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
I would want to say that they need to work on the defense a little bit, but I think it's unfair just because they just got burned by the number one offense or close to the number one offense in the league. To me, though, I think where they really need to improve on is the offensive weapon side of the ball, obviously, but also I still think they need to improve that offensive line. What are your thoughts on that?
So for me, I think the back end of that defense could get a facelift. It is a little unfair for me to be saying that after the Philadelphia game, because that's, like you said, one of the best offenses in the league, if not the best. And so my big thing is they need to re-sign Daniel Jones. Saquon Barkley that can walk. He's a great running back, but to me, you can get a guy in the third round. You can go draft Kendre Miller. Is it from TCU?
Kendre Miller from TCU, Sean Tucker from Syracuse. Yeah. Shoot, I mean, you're going to be around that field of where Bijan Robinson might want to go in the first round, which is he has been compared to Saquon Barkley, so you can get him for 5 years.
Yeah, but for me, I think moving on, if you can bring Saquon back, then great. He'll make your running game better. But I think you need to spend that capital on offensive linemen, protect Daniel Jones, and bring in more weapons. Because I think Daniel Jones proved that this year he is deserving of a second contract in New York. And if you get him some weapons, he might be able to be the guy.
Well, we just talked about Josh Allen, and how explosive he can be. And Daniel Jones has Josh Allen traits. It was almost like he's turning into a Josh Allen 2.0. Josh Allen light. I mean, I don't. 2.0 sounds like an improvement.
He's not he's physical runner of Josh Allen, but he's as athletic.
He is as athletic, and he can run, but it seems like a very similar style of game. He might not be as great of a passer as Josh Allen. That's still, I think, to be seen. But I guess also he hasn't really had an elite receiver weapon to throw to. And so, but that could be an interesting kind of off-season debate on who
they both have tremendous arms. How about that?
Yeah, that's fair. That's a good way to say it, so that no one gets upset. But I think I can see that keeping Daniel Jones, give him another thing too as well is if you look at because we were talking about Dak and how much money he's getting compared to cap space, you can probably get Daniel Jones relatively cheap. I mean, you're not going to pay him $40 million. I think you can get him for a Jimmy Garoppolo-esque type deal. Because he's only really
had 25, 30 max.
Yeah, because he's only had one good season, which was this one. And you think, and he showed a lot of growth. Anyways, I'm saying, so then compared to I guess what the average franchise quarterback is getting, you're now saving $15 to $25 million that then you can go apply to an offensive line, receivers, and then this kind of then takes away from why Saquon Barkley might not get that big contract with them is. As you said, you can go get a rookie third-round running back and then pay him $1 million. That's what the Falcons did with Tyler Algier. He just had 1,000-yard rushing. The Bears have Khalil Herbert. David Montgomery's probably going to walk because he's in his contract year. And this is the Bears. But David Montgomery for the Bears is probably going to walk because they have Khalil Herbert. Why would they pay David Montgomery top dollar?
Aaron Jones is likely to be a cap casualty in Green Bay. The running back position is by far the most turnover heavy of any position, just because those services are so attainable at almost any level, and the running back position depends very heavily on the offensive line. And to me, I think that's just where New York really needs to focus, build up that offensive line. It'll help your pass game. And then whoever is back there, it'll help them out too. And I'm really interested to see what Brian Dabble does. This is his first offseason as a head coach and with a larger say in the draft process.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really curious what happens here.
Yeah.
Because they were the 6th seed, right? 6th seed?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they're going to compete for the division, but they can have a 5 seed matchup with whoever comes out of the NFC East or NFC South next year at the 4. Little preview there for predictions for next season. But
yeah,
if they're the 5 seed and they're going to Atlanta, to
New Orleans or Carolina,
like I'm picking the Giants in that matchup.
Yeah,
and that's really far away, but then they're in the same position they are this year, but with a better team. And so it'll be really interesting to see how it plays out. But I think they have a lot of potential moving forward. So,
yeah, it's tough because this was definitely a shock. It's not as big of a shock as Seattle making the playoffs, but then the Giants coming along, we thought like maybe they can make an improvement, which what they did. But a lot of people were calling for Daniel Jones to be let go, start over. And now it's like, I think he's your guy. I think he's in the right system. You got a coach who knows what he's doing in developing a young quarterback, and he fits that same style that we've seen him have success in. So, and that's what it is. Like that running back position is just very vulnerable. Like it's there's only the only exception is Derrick Henry. And I think that's just the style of play. And even that being said, they probably shouldn't have paid him like the $15-16 million that they're paying Derrick Henry for. So I think that's what he's getting. It's up there for the most with running backs. But Giants, great season. It was a pleasure to watch, to see them grow and what they could do.
Yeah.
I hope Darius Slayton sticks around. I like watching him. I hope that they can get some elite receivers to go on the outside of him. And shout out to Richie James and Isaiah Hodgins, and they have Wandale Robinson coming back. Hopefully he's still the same player, if not a better player, coming back from that ACL injury. So